Hi guys, and welcome back. And also, until we meet again, this is the season recap of season 2 of Man's Glory Podcast, where we keep it real biblical. So we're just gonna talk about some key, points and highlights, some things we're gonna reflect back over the season, and let you guys know what may be to come, guys. Willing. I'm gonna let Rita take it away. My bun falling down.
Okay. Well, to lose the polka dots. Anywho, I want to say it's been a great pleasure. Second season with y'all and some things, some topics that we talked on. I can't remember from A to Z when it comes to all those different topics. But what I do want to say, some things just freelancing, okay? For instance, when we're talking about being of Christ, being sinners, doing right, changing your life around. And I may have said this on one of the podcasts, I do not know. You know, I say to people often, you know, we come here into the world of sin. So we are born in sin. So we have to learn to die out of our sins. That means get away from ourselves, deny self, our own personal understanding. You know, because in the beginning, our ways are not God. We don't think like He thinks. But I said that to say, for instance, let me start with Rita. So when I decided to have sex out of wedlock, I committed
You put some more emphasis on that word.
Well, I committed sin, you know, against my flesh, against my spirit, against the Lord. So, even though I was taught to wait to get married, you know, I was taught to wait, you know, don't have sex before marriage. I remember that statement, that conversation. So, but I committed sin. So in the beginning, I was sinful, and I had to learn, okay, so, and which I said within myself, I didn't say it was the Lord's will because I didn't know to say it was the Lord's will. Well, within one of my sexual activities, here would I say one of them because it wasn't the very first one, I had a baby. You know, we conceived, like we made a child. So when I said that, I didn't want another child without being married.
So she made me the heathen.
Oh well.
And made LJ. No, that ain't even the word. What's the
He'll
other
just
term?
say bastard.
If my brother, my baby brother, called me a bastard.
He was always not a bastard. That's what he said in his younger days. But anyway, but bastard means,
He
you know, in the
still
Bible.
say it.
In the Bible, bastard is fatherless. Would that mean God is not your father? So that's why we, the people in the word, called children who were made out of wedlock bastards. That's why I remember calling that. But anyway, back to my point. So I said that to say the sin of homosexuality. And so you hear him say, well, God made me like this here. I've always been attracted to, you know, the same sex. So bear with me. Since we are born into sin, so I ain't going to deny you that. First, I just say that's not true, but then this came to me. Since we born into sin, okay, I get that. Because your first mind that you have is not right. It's full of sin. So we have to learn to do right. Cease from sin. So we have to be taught, you know, to get away from those things. And the only way that we going to learn is to get in the Word, you know, go to a church house that someone is teaching spiritual, because we can't save us ourselves. We can't stop. So for that gay person, whomever it may be, okay, I give you that. But that don't make it right, because we were born into sin. So even if you was given that mind, and I'm not going to say reprobated because you don't know nothing to be reprobated at that time. So even though we was given that unrighteous mind, we have to go and seek out God so we can get the righteous mind. Not only to the gays or the lesbians or whatever, to the fornicators, to the adulterers, all of us, the whoremonger, whatever you're doing that's not of God, you got to learn to do right. You got to cease from it. There's no greater sin is sin, you know. But I just use that one because I've heard a lot. Well, He made me this way, okay. But in the beginning, we're made full of we full of sin and lust in our hearts. You know, the first thing a child gonna do when they hear some music is shake their booty. Why? Because that's what they know. That's what they see. So that's what you're born with in the beginning. Go ahead, girl, if you choose.
Okay.
You can talk on anything. This is
Okay.
recapping, right?
Okay, so
Pick a subject. Pick a episode.
this season to me was very, I want to say, refreshing.
Okay.
Of course, we're learning things along the way. And a lot of times when we speak, we're speaking from lived experience. And I think that's like the best thing about our podcast. We're two different age groups. And you get to see a mother-daughter dynamic as well as being brought up in the church and the differences in the way she was brought up, which was also in the church. And then doing she done, then me sticking my way throughout it, right? And so you get two outlooks on one topic, I think. Because she got experience I've never experienced, like I've experienced things she probably not true.
Well, it was a time when I ceased from going to church. Jazz has never ceased. I'm talking about, when I grew up and I went through that era, I wasn't going to church. I was staying at home or doing whatever.
And my mom being who she is and being brought up the way she was and going through things that she's gone through, and my dad being who he is, brought up the way that he was, going through things that he's gone through, and them making me. Because it's things right now, like we'll talk about dating or things I would allow, things I won't allow. My mom, and that's my mother, and they raised me to be the way, to just be like, no, Jazz, I'm not doing. And I just think that's a funny thing. So in this, y'all get to see how we interact with each other. Like nothing about it is fake whatsoever. And this is our actual lived experience, how we cooperate together, how we live together, how we go through life, how reliant we are on our relationship with each other. And also on my end, I think I see the growth in me and my mom, the change we've done. Because I just had to hear her with this the other day. She said something to me, and I said, my, how the tables have turned. And she wasn't even
Keep going.
paying attention.
I was.
So what? No, you didn't pay attention to what I was saying. Because she was like,
what?
what?
You were saying, but
I
that's
said,
why I
no.
hesitated before I said it.
Because
I'm like, I'm doing one of your numbers.
I said, I'm not one of your little friends. And she was like, oh, and proceeded to keep going anyway. Because we grew up with the whole, she not one of my little friends. Now I'm just like, I'm not one of your little friends. Mm-hmm. But, and I just told her too, in all truthfulness, you are in fact one of my little friends.
Now we're grown, but you still, hey.
There's a level. And I don't think she understands the level of what not to cross. Because Rita will cross the line.
But I am your mother.
You still got boundaries. Let's reflect on boundaries.
I am your mother. So therefore, if I feel that you need to know something, and if I tell you in the most mature way,
okay,
pay attention.
Okay, I get it. Just like I feel that as my mother, mm-hmm. I need to know if you see my man creeping on me. And you need to tell me the most respectful way. Y'all see, this is the third time it came back around. That's all I'm saying.
But you keep bringing it to a man. It has nothing to do with
I'm bringing it to all sex. Like, you feel like you can insert yourself whenever you get ready. Insert yourself in it. Amen.
I would not do that.
The people say amen. Moving
on. No, because what happens, family? If most of the time somebody interjected themselves in a relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, the maid
back your child.
Hold up, the maid back up, and then the spouse over here looking funny at the mama. I can't stand her. What is that? So it's just best to stay out of it.
Anyway.
Yes. Next subject.
So, this season we talked about a lot. Mm-hmm. Putting and keeping God at the forefront. Okay? And it helps you get through there's nothing that you go through in life that God cannot get you out of. And I do say can, I don't say will. I say can. Because it's ultimately up to you whether or not you choose to follow him. And I was just telling a young man I was on the phone with, there's a difference in believing that there is a God and believing in God. Because believing that there is a God means you're going to live life the way you want to live life. And you call on God when you need him. Right? That's the only time. Ooh, Daddy just said in church. But believing in God is living according to God. Doing the things that he asks and requires of you with no excuse. Getting it done. Because imagine. And y'all heard me say this multiple times, so I'm sure you can finish the statement. Imagine dying and waking up in hell. Imagine waking up in hell. I would be mad. I would be big mad.
Right on this side.
Baby. You
The
mean
whole
to
duty of
tell
man is to
me?
fear God, keep His commandments.
I spent all these years here and I wake up beside the person I know wasn't gonna make it in. Lo and behold, neither did I. We in this thing together.
You wake up and see so and so in the bosom of Abraham.
No, that
What am I doing here? Oh, but then when you feel that, ooh, something hot. You know what y'all.
The the man had said, he woke up, he was like, my head, she said,
Ooh.
That's the tickle
So
me.
she was in hell with him.
No, he was on earth.
Oh, my bad. Look, I done took it all the way left.
I just thought that was funny. But what are some of the topics we talked about this season? We talked about integrity.
That was last week.
That was a good episode.
Mm-hmm.
Because that plays out in so many different faces. But leading up to lead to integrity, prior to that, we talking about, keeping your faith in God first in your work environment. Because that also entails integrity. It takes a lot to do the right thing. And I don't think it takes more energy to do the wrong thing.
Right.
That's what I don't think people understand. It takes more courage
Because
to do the right
why
thing.
it takes more energy. Because when you're doing the wrong thing, then whatever wrong thing you did, you got to try to hide it. You got to, just make sure it doesn't come out. It's just a lot of things. But if you do what's right, you just an open book. Okay, bam.
You ain't got to cover nothing up. You free.
And you
What's
walk.
this Karen say? Freely give, freely receive. What she be saying? Freely you give, freely receive, or something.
I don't know
Freely
what I'm
forgiven.
saying.
That's what she be saying.
Freely
forgiven.
Yeah.
You're just free. You walk free.
You talk, you look.
There ain't no conscience because you
Somebody
got to keep looking
come
over
up.
your shoulder. None of that. You good. You're clear. You're air. I would much rather do the right thing the first time
Right.
than have to come back and apologize and fix the mistakes and keep having all these things come after me.
Mm-hmm.
We also talked about accountability
Mm-hmm.
and self-awareness. That's a part of growing spiritually and physically, and age-wise, growing up. You got to take accountability for your actions, for what you've done, for what you allowed to conspire. What did you do to get yourself in the situation you're in? If you feel like stuff coming at you left and right, hey God, what did I do to keep me
deserve
here?
this?
Huh? And for them people who say the verse, God won't give you no more than you can bear. He ain't talking to everybody. Because God will put some on your end. That's what we need to understand. God don't play. He is a just God.
And He will give you just what He want to give you.
Mm-hmm.
Your just reward.
If you evil, He gonna bring you some evilness.
You reap what you sow.
Huh?
And then too, with being honesty or having integrity, you got to look in the book, or we're gonna say look in the mirror. And I got to see me in the mirror. I can't look in the mirror and I didn't say to see her or nowhere. Or we're so easy to point out your faults. If I work on my own or sweep around my own front door, I won't be worried about yours. Now I can help you once I see how to clean mine.
What I said? Spend the first 6 months working on you. Spend the next 6 months not worry about nobody but you. You ain't got no more time
That's
to worry
12
about
months
nobody
of
else.
you fixing you.
If I spent the entire year fixing me spiritually, mentally, emotionally, financially, physically, I don't have time to worry about what you got going on. I got to get me
Not my
right.
business.
And then, if you see that I've done the work in me and you say, well, hey, Jess, could you potentially, do you have some insight on this? Or what do you think about it? How do you think I can better myself here? And if I, being Jess, think that, hey, well, I have actually worked on this. I have perfected this is no longer the cross I'm bearing. Now I'm focused on this cross. Then I can see if I feel like I am apt to do that. But some people extend things that they don't even have the power to extend
themselves.
How you trying to help somebody you ain't helped you?
You need help.
How you gonna help somebody and you in the midst of getting the help?
Yourself.
Huh? How you gonna tell somebody how to do something when in fact that's the same something that's kicking your butt right now? Not right now. Right now. Get it together. Get it together.
Well, the most important, when we learn to love us first, then we can move further.
Selfishness is not always bad.
Right.
Huh.
When I learned the love of God, then I put it on me, and then I can reflect it. Because we know that Jesus is the light that shines.
Jesus.
So if I allow the light to shine in me and flow out, then I can help others. But if I can't see, how me being blind, I can't help you. Like one of my brothers said, he done fell in the river and is a blind. Now the blind man leading him, I just fall on my knees and ask for help because the man in front of him blind and he can't see where to help at. No. So let the light shine in me. Show me me. Let me work on me. Let the light show.
Work on me, Jesus.
Work on me.
Work on me,
And
Jesus.
then I can see to help me and anybody else that needs the help. We got to do the work on ourselves first. Most important spiritually. Businesses, children, whatever it is. And you have, like I say, with all that get understanding of the word, either in the word. I listened to got his name, but the preacher was saying on the TV this morning as I was getting dressed to go to my own church service, and it was saying about the scripture about surround yourself with wisdom, with wise people. And he was saying, why would you be around people who don't know anything, or you try to build something for you and your family? You got to surround yourself with wise people, wisdom. Listen to wise counsel. If you don't know a done thing, why should I be listening to you? What?
You the smartest person in the circle. You got a problem.
Something is wrong. And there is nothing wrong with being around, intelligent. And, just levels of it. Just like you say, I'm a technician of cognitive. And if I associated with my friend who is a nurse practitioner, then I got a friend who is a doctor of all the nurses, just different levels, or a scientist here, or a head of car mechanic here, or this person over here run the bank, come on, with all this knowledge, and then don't always be the one doing all the talking in the group. Listen, you surround yourself with wisdom, so that you can gain wisdom. You don't always have to be the smartest person in the group. Don't think I'm the smartest, I know everything. No.
That's the thing. If I'm the only smart person in the group, I'm finna dip.
In the circle.
Because something wrong. If I'm the only, that just means that speaks to
Nobody
my
else is
character.
smart.
And nobody else in that group is smart and I'm the only one. That speaks to me saying, oh, she just likes to surround herself by dumb people so she can lead them. Nah, boo.
So let's not call them dumb. Let's say
that's just the term
I know,
use,
but okay, yeah. Like they say, some people like to make themselves feel good.
So you get people who follow a bunch of followers, right? However, for me, right, or if you are the smartest person, like you got a bunch of smart people, but you the smartest, make sure you got another circle that you ain't the smartest, because that you are not the smartest. Because here's my thing, I'm a lifelong learner. I love to learn. You got to pour into me. If I'm the smartest in this group, let me go be another group where I got people pouring into me so I can keep pouring into all the different groups. There's nothing wrong with you being the smartest in the group, one of the smart. It's a little bit of a problem you the smartest, or you the only smart one in the group, because if they point into you. But if you're pointing to them. But if you don't want that group, just you can have a herd of people following behind you, that's a problem. You need to check that. Check it. And I'm talking about spiritual relationships, work relationships, whatever. Do what you need to do to make sure that you are forever growing. Because the objective is to get better by every passing second, moment, day, week, month of the year that you have on God's green earth. Get it while you can, without like get understanding, and get it while you can. Because forever is a long time to be wrong.
There's a scripture that said, I became as the weak, as though the weak to gain them. So I said that to say, if you're smart, people don't have to know how smart you are. You listen. The best way to learn is to listen. Like it says in the scripture, hear. Slow to speak, quick to hear. Hear, O Israel. So if we spend our time listening to others, you can learn something if it works for learning. But if you the one always doing the talking, just what are you talking about? Be apt to learn. from someone, or let's put our thoughts together. You know, even with that. And I say all the time, unity make the dream work, teamwork. You know, village, it take a village to raise them. I really mean that, because just like say, if I'm a mother, I may know something about parenting. This may be an educator, a teacher, a professor, a doctor, a nurse, a banker, a car salesman,
A stripper.
or a car mechanic, a stripper, a whore. You know, yes, you need whores in your group, so that's just a joke. But what I'm saying is things that you don't need to do, you know. And ex-whore could say, man, that was a life I lived. Like you hear him say, doing this to pay their bills. You don't have to do that. And this is why you don't have to do that. Because if and when we trust God, we will realize that's all we have to do is trust Him. Faith of a mustard seed. You know, think. Do the right thing. You know, like I said in past videos, my husband said many, many years ago to our children, we watch the TV and they have these athletes and man, I did this and that, and now, you know, they done turned around. And he said to our family, why can't you do right in the beginning? You know, you shouldn't have to, everybody that done screwed up, then they want to tell somebody something. But what I've learned, and this is my opinion, America, if you haven't screwed up, they don't want you. I'm going to say, for instance, now, I don't watch football, y'all, care nothing about it. So some may say the little Sanders kid is good, and some may say he not. But this is my opinion on the little bit that I done saw. Because he come from money, so therefore you don't want to deal with it. But if he was broken, on drugs, and screwed up and came from money, then to me, they would have drafted him and bam. But I felt, because I'm coming in and out and people, you was trying to punish him. So why can't we reward people that do good? Anyway, you know? Why is it always got to be somebody that hit rock bottom, then all of a sudden they can tell you what to do? You got some people that didn't hit rock bottom, that did what thus said the Lord from the beginning and came on through it. So come on, y'all, let's not be backwards. Let's not be upside down. If it's warranty of celebration or a good deed, let's do it, you know. For instance, the kids. Now, you know, like you have some that brought up in the church houses and they listen, they did what's right all the way through. They listen and they waited on the Lord. That's a good thing, you know. But those who didn't and screwed up, then you want to praise them. What about praising the one that's doing right? You know, let's not be partial in this thing. God is not partial, but we can be. Oh, we going to love on him because he was in the church and he left and went out there and sold drugs and went to jail and killed this person, and now he's a born-again Christian. But what about the ones who got it right from the beginning to the end? You know?
Good?
What about them?
You good?
For now.
I don't know how we get to them.
Well, we recapping. I'm just, what's on my mind? It's free. It's a free. Right?
All right, so. Well, again, this is season 2. And we made it do what it do. And from Rita just going off into rant number 3 for today, I don't think she's ready for season 2 to end.
I am. It is what it is.
No, she not. God willing, we will be back for season 3. But in the meantime and in between time, what we need you to do, go back and watch all of our old videos. Go get caught up from episode 1 of season 1 up to episode 15 of season 2. And tell me what you see. See, have you seen growth and changes and the challenges or whatever? Make sure you thumbs up all those videos. If you're watching on YouTube, thanks for tuning in. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have a lot of viewers that are not subscribed. So go ahead and take out the time and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can be notified every single time that we post. Like, thumbs up all of the videos. Leave a comment. Interact with us. Though we're not posting, we're taking a little break before season 3 starts. Does not mean we would not be responding to any comments. Likewise on TikTok. Go and follow and talk with us. Leave comments. Subscribe. We're streaming on podcast, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. We're streaming on every streaming service that streams podcasts, actually. So go rewatch all of our old episodes. If you got some things you want us to talk about, let us know. You can email us at mansglorypodcast@gmail.com. I do respond. Because we do not respond to anything. I do respond. Interact with us. Interact with us on TikTok. It's lit. I gotta get back up because I'm behind on the TikTok.
Yeah,
post.
I had a cousin told me that you don't see him. I'm like, well, I ain't know. She be like studies doing comments on them with different names. She said, I'm like, well, I have to go check you out and see what you're doing, girl.
Well, that's investment.
Yeah.
Next season, what can we expect next season, Miss Rita?
So my thing is, I remember earlier, couple episodes ago, and you had did up to the 3rd season.
The 6th season.
6. So we may have, this is just my opinion, we may have to deviate from that because people been wanting to come on or want us to go live. So we probably gonna have to deviate from.
Okay, if y'all want us to go live for a recording, you're definitely going to have to get us to 200 subscribers on YouTube.
Right, to do that.
If you want us to go live, you gonna have to get us up to at least 200 subscribers on YouTube.
So help us with that,
200 subscribers on YouTube and 200 followers on our TikTok channel. And we may potentially do a live episode. Being that we'll be going into season 3, we will be setting up to have guests come in. I am super excited about that, especially to have the men come in. Because having that men perspective is something different. Now, I have not decided upon whether or not I want my dad to be a part of it. But
let me contain myself.
I don't think that's gonna go well. And my dad came out there, he was just like, I'm your parent too, right? And I'm like, what are you talking about? He was like, 'cause you supposed. I said, I talk to you all of the time. I tell him stuff I don't even tell mom. So that's what I'm just like, what are you talking about?
For me, I'm not a jealous parent.
But it's things I can say to my mother that I cannot say to my father.
Exactly.
And then he get grossed out about the smallest things. So, sir,
a pimple with some the black.
Okay, Jazz. Okay, that's enough. I'm like, but anyway, so yeah, we don't know if he gonna be allowed on
but
episode.
he want to come. I don't care what you're saying. I don't guess he does. But hey, I don't know.
He like the podcast until the things he don't want to hear.
Right. Certain things my husband do not want us to
But
say.
there are a few people who I think would be great to have them on as a guest. Some people that are older than me and some people that are my age. I get excited about people my age, actually excited about God and stuff like that because we are few in between. But yeah.
Well, God said that.
What's to be expected coming in for season 3 if God allows us to continue on with that. So again, this has been another lovely and wonderful episode of Man's Glory Podcast where we keep it real biblical. And we will see you guys in season 3.
Have a great one.